Hey there, and welcome to the Brittany Wheeler Show. Join Brittany as she interviews incredible people whose stories will uplift you and remind you the life you long for is just ahead. Buckle up for an inspirational ride to your best life. Take it away, Britt.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Brittany Wheeler Show. So excited to have you here today, whether you're watching on YouTube or you're listening in your car, on the treadmill, whatever your favorite place to listen to our podcast is. We're excited to have you today. Have an incredible conversation. So really get ready, buckle up. If you can see my guest, you see how beautiful she is on the other side. If you can't see her, you should probably watch the YouTube video so you can. And I want to take no time and introduce her so we can get started, because this is an incredible human being that I know in this episode that you will leave inspired, you will leave just in awe of her, and you will believe that if she can do it, you can do it too. So she's a wife, a mother, a sister, a daughter, friend, a servant heart, a leader, a dreamer, a warrior, an overcomer. Underline that word 17 times. And she's a sister in Christ. Please welcome my friend, Lauren Risedorf, to the Brittany Wheeler Show.
Wow, what an introduction. Thanks. I'm so happy to be here with you, friend.
You're so welcome. Seriously, you look stunning today. And you washed your hair, which I know is a big deal.
Yes, it is clean. We're ready for the show.
and that's basically like a half the time I see you. I'm like, your hair looks great. Do something different. And you said, I washed it. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
That's exactly right. Exactly.
So this next segment, I like to pass to my guests to either share a story of us, either how we met or why they said yes to the episode. It's a really great place to bridge the gap for those that are listening that maybe know you, know me, don't know either of us, and give them a really good foundation to carry us into the conversation.
I love it. Well, yeah, I think we met at our amazing job. We work at Vigil Hope together, and I joked that we took over one person's position that worked like 40 hours a week, and we work less than that and split her job. And so I joke that we're like the equivalent of her, or if people ask,
Yeah.
And so you're like my partner at work. And yeah, so, and then about the podcast, I mean, I've just been waiting like for you to ask me. A little bit like, why didn't this happen sooner? But I trust God's timing.
Awkward. I'm just finding out about this live on this recording, and I'm feeling a little bit of being targeted here.
No, I trust the Lord in it. I was just waiting.
I love it. Yeah, it definitely God's timing for a lot of things. And
totally.
I feel like that is just one thing that's been really awesome about guests, and like even just like having to reschedule. I did a recording the other day with a friend who we had to reschedule a couple of times because of life and just kids and things. And it's just so beautiful to kind of let those delays go. I think in an industry like podcasting or interview styles or things like that, it can be really frustrating if you have a set schedule and then it doesn't go the way you planned. And I just get to that point, where I see over and over and over again that if someone reschedules, I'm like, there's a reason. And I just I'm not even annoyed. I'm like, okay, let's reschedule, because I know that the time that it does happen is really when it's going to be great. I'm recording with a friend later today who I have asked for over 2 years to be on the podcast. And so that for me is another moment of like, okay, people have to be ready.
Yeah, totally.
Which is amazing.
Love it. Yeah.
So I want everyone to get to know who you are. Like I'm so excited to see how this conversation goes, because there's so many amazing things that people can be really impacted by. So, share with them, for those that don't know you, like, who was Lauren as a young girl, and what was childhood like in Michigan? Flint, Michigan, to be exact.
Yes. Most people I meet, I save that for the end of the conversation. So I'm glad you're starting there.
Rip the Band-Aid off.
Yes, all the documentaries are true. Stay there. No, but I did. I grew up in Flint, Michigan, and I joke that the TV raised me. I mean, Adam Sandler, all the things I probably shouldn't have been watching as a kid, but that is, a little bit about me. But I grew up with just a broken home, but that was actually pretty common from where I grew up. And um, I lived with my mom part of the time, and I lived with my biological father every other week. And they were not like great relationships, and done a lot of healing through that throughout the years for that as well. But I was also blessed with a stepfather that I would say I resemble a lot of him. He was like the mayor of our town. He owned his own grocery store. He really taught me what it looks like to love people, and to just continue to keep on going, so yeah, that's a little bit about me from
I
when
love
I was
that.
a kid.
That's
Y
so sweet. Yeah, and we've talked about your stepfather before, and I just, he came in out of your life. It was a pretty quick time, even just him being your stepfather in the grand scheme of things. And so, but yet to know how much of an impact he had, I think we just underestimate the impact of, or underestimate how much of an impact someone can make in such a short amount of time.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness. Yes, I'm very passionate about that. Like, I do think there's purpose in every time we meet and talk with people, because you can make an impact in anyone's life, I think.
Yeah. How did you like, not how, but I guess when did you know in your childhood,
Mhm.
that when did you kind of realize that your life and kind of just you look different than,
Mm.
what you were seeing with friends and what you're experiencing at the school and community?
Yeah. Yeah, I was really young when I realized that. I wanna say that when I thought about this, I think it was, like, 2nd grade. I broke my back when I was, 6 years old in a, like, severe, um, car accident. The doctor told my, unbelieving parents, like, "There's someone upstairs, like, watching out for you because there's no way she can walk when she leaves here," and I have. And so I know that was, a huge thing in my life, but I missed a lot of school in 1st grade, and they just moved me to 2nd grade, and I struggled so bad. And I just knew that, I was yeah, I think in school and with, the peers that I had, the Lord always gave me amazing people, but I always felt like, something was wrong with me, or maybe that's what was told to me, whether I was, like, put in, like, special ed classes when I was a kid because I couldn't read, although back in the day, they taught you how to read in 1st grade, which is like they teach you before kindergarten now. I mean
Yeah. Yeah.
but I just, that was a staple that I missed, and I didn't have that support at home, um, to get, and they tried. I mean, the school system can't do it all, so, I know that they tried and there was always amazing, loving people around me, but that was probably the first time I knew, something was different, but I also think, I was a cute little blonde, blue-eyed girl, but I always hated that, and, I think there's a lot of reason to that, and, like, I was, physically, sexually, and emotionally abused by my father, and, there's something about objectifying anyone at any age, that really just, like, makes it to where you're like, "I don't wanna be pretty, I don't wanna be noticed, I don't wanna, like," if that's what things are, people would say, to me even at a young age, like, I really dismissed that quickly, because they didn't necessarily wanna know who I was, it was mostly, like, outward thing, and so, I don't know, I feel like I pondered pretty deep things at a young age just because of potentially just the, you know, experiences that I had.
Mm.
So, yeah.
It's so, thank you for first off, thank you for sharing, and I know that is your heart in so
Mm,
much of what you do with other women and community and
yeah.
retreats and groups is to know that you have walked through some horrible things, but you're in a season where there's so much healing that you're like, if I can bless someone who is going through it,
Mhm,
just be open. Um, and it's and what you shared about that objectifying and just
mm,
even how you saw yourself, it just is so it's like this innocent removed. There's every part of your
Yeah.
childhood was ripped from your fingers, and you were just a 7-year-old little adult at that point, just walking
Yeah.
around with no childlike joy. Do you think that I mean, I think I know the answer, but do you think that was kind of the catalyst for just the crowds you connected with and what you were longing for and seeking in the years to come after?
Yeah, sure, definitely. But that I mean, also it's hard when you're in school because that's your people you're around, I feel so blessed and lucky now. We get to kinda choose our friends now. But yeah, when you live in an area, in poverty, it is hard and, you don't always get the people that are, like, looking out for you all the time, or expect you to act like, maybe normal, and, you don't know what normal is. I mean, that's one of the things I try to explain to my kids is, if I was given an orange as a child and someone told me, "This orange is green," like, when someone else comes to me with an orange and says, "What color is this?" and I say green, that doesn't make me, like, crazy or weird or what no, that's what I was taught, and that's how I was raised, and I'm gonna have to learn, like, what does it look like for me to retrain my mind in something so little and simple as the color of an orange, and so I think I did have friends that had amazing parents, and they really did teach me. I had a lot of friends that, their mother, like, took me under my wing. I would love to talk to them now because 'cause I'm like, I always wondered, like, they knew, like, they just had to have known, like, I wasn't, yeah, they that I needed that, and, I am eternally grateful, I think, because, like, I had been in, like, really bad situations. I've, gone to different things and put myself in, places that I have said, like, only the grace of God that I am still here today. But, God just continued to give me amazing, amazing people around me. And I would say for sure that is why, like, I could continue to keep on going with that. So, yeah.
So the one thing I would just love to, if you can elaborate on a little bit, just
Hmm.
explain for people because again, I don't know it very well. You lived there.
Hmm.
Explain like what Flint, Michigan,
Hmm.
like what made it so challenging? Because I think people hear that maybe they have some idea, maybe they don't, maybe they live there. I think that would help people understand the context of like you were not you 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 were born there, but
Yeah.
clearly you were beyond that and you were meant to be outside of the city limits.
Mhm.
But like to really understand like what that upbringing looked like.
Yeah. I mean, I lived in different parts, but, I mean, at the time, obviously, that's all I knew. Um, Growing up, but we lived, my mom didn't have a lot of money. We lived literally, it was the slave house. There was this farmhouse, that had a little tiny, they made it into a one-bedroom house, but, that's where I grew up. I got made fun of, like, "You live in a Barbie house? Like, how do you fit in there?" But there's little things that was pretty common for I mean, there wasn't a lot of really big houses. There was obviously nicer places, to be, but I just remember even as a kid just driving down the road being scared. So, like, I remember driving in my car and looking over I mean, I was very young. I had to be under 6, but looking over at someone and my mom, like, yelling at me, like, "Do not look, like, they could shoot you." Like, and I just remember being like, "Okay," like, and so I we would, like, drive up to intersections, and I would always be like, "Look forward, don't look at anybody," like, that could literally, cause my life, and that was hard to wrap my mind around, obviously. It's hard to for me when I say that sometimes I used to say that, like, flippantly, and people are like, "Lauren, that's not normal." And I'm like, "Well, that, like, type of fear of death or, something harm, happening was very common. We got our house broken into multiple times. Had my mom, been held at gunpoint. I mean, um, it's hard to explain, but, I think they've done a good job at, like, sharing, like, documentaries and stuff. There's just been a over, a you know, a lot of things that are acceptable in United States seems to be dismissed there for some reason. Whether it's, I believe it starts at the top, but there's a little bit of corruption and different things, and I know they're working through a lot of stuff, but yeah, I guess that's a little glimpse of it for me. Safety was not a given.
Yeah. I think
Mhm,
that's well, thank you for sharing that too, because again, I
mhm.
think it just gives people an idea because I don't really, like I don't
Yeah.
know, and I think it also just lets people really understand what you were experiencing as a
Mhm.
child in all different
Yeah.
ways and areas. And I think what's
Mhm.
so interesting, did you, and I know that there's so many things that just your relationship with Christ is so beautiful. Um, did you ever think that God was going to use just your exposure to that that kind of city to then do work in a city that's, I mean, it's nowhere near, right? Like we are not, the Wilmington is not
Mm.
at all like Flint, Michigan in that capacity. But
Yeah.
did you ever see God ever using that and be like, oh, well, you're equipped, so let's go bring you in working with Vigilant Hope with the homeless poverty and helping people, walk into a better life.
Yes, I definitely at the time I didn't because I actually heard about this position and I had just stepped down from a teaching position and this opened up right away and I'm quick to fill my schedule and I have to sometimes like step back, but this was opened up and to where I could it is administrative and I'm like, "Gosh, I love what they're doing through Vigilant Hope," and, I think I didn't even know at the time, that it could be what it is, and it is amazing how God just really I prayed about it a lot, like, "Should I work here?" And, I really felt like the Lord was like obviously it's a choice, it is a choice, but I felt peace about working there, and, I remember in the interview process I had, Laura didn't know me. And I remember her asking me, "So why do you want to work at Digital Health?" And I'm like, "Oh gosh," she's looking at me like, "You sweet girl." Like, and I was like, "Well, there's a little about me you probably don't know."
Yeah.
And I think at the end of the day, I my passion is for people to see people for who they are. And that doesn't matter where it is. That's how I feel. And so if it is people that don't have a home, or if it's people that are in the church, or if it's like the richest of rich people, like I want to know who you are, and like I want to hear what's going on in your heart, and yeah, we all struggle, like all of us do. And so for me, I guess it really doesn't matter where I am. I feel really passionate about, yeah, helping people to find freedom in Christ and to be seen and known because it is so lonely when we don't. And so then, yeah, I guess working at Vigil, I hope it feels like a perfect fit for me. I love it. I really do. And I also like kind of being like, people are like, "Who are you?" And I'm like, "Okay, here we go."
How long do you have?
Yeah, we're gonna be friends. Don't worry.
Yeah. We'll share a lot. Uh,
Yeah,
you shared earlier about just having just these incredible people in your life, these
yeah,
mosaics of people. And
definitely.
I love that concept. I heard that once in a podcast of that God will give you a mosaic painting. When people, you don't know a mosaic, it's like just all these different broken pieces and it just all comes together. And
Mhm.
I love the idea that like God knows that we don't all get equipped with the
Mhm.
nuclear, beautiful family that is going to love and support us. And that is your story. But
Yeah.
God was like, but don't worry. And he
Mhm.
continued to bring different people in your
Yeah,
life. And he continued to do that with your husband, Justin, and with
definitely.
so much more. And your love
Yeah.
story is so special. And I love that so much. Are there people like you shared, obviously, some of those really amazing moms and parent figures in your childhood?
Yeah.
Is there anybody that you feel like stands out that comes to mind on
Mm.
people that were put into your life intentionally to keep you safe, to grow you out? Obviously you shared your stepfather, but I would just love to know if there's
Yeah.
anybody else that really stands out for you.
Oh my gosh. It's so hard. Like, I could literally give you, like, in the Bible, it talks about, like, Jesus did these many miracles, it was so big that, like, we don't even can't even fit it in a book or whatever. That's how I feel about the people in my life. So, like, I could tell you some names, but man, I don't wanna miss anyone because it feels like just all my friends and, their parents when I was growing up, and then, God just continues to bless me with people, and it is ordained. I feel it, when I get to interact with certain people. I'm like, "Okay, let's do this," because I believe there's purpose in this. But, when I was real young, I think, there was just obviously my dad, and then, in school, I had friends that their parents, like, really, their moms specifically became like a mother to me. A couple of friends that kind of like my friend Carol and Kayla, their mom just loved me well. I actually lived with my friend Carol for a while in a season where I was like, I can't be home. And she welcomed me in and like just literally fed me. And it is truly remarkable to think about like, could I do something like that, that someone did for me? And obviously, yeah, meeting my husband, I have friends that, like my friend Kate, like she literally lived in a college dorm with me, when I was a single mother, in a Christian school. And so that really looked really great. Going to like this Baptist college. We were in the married dorms, two women and a baby.
That's a movie right there.
I know. And no, I think of people like, she just didn't care, like, she just did it, and she loved me so well, through it, and obviously, like, I think it's hard is, like, I really did try to love these people, to the best of my abilities, but there's always times where I'm like, "Man, they love me so well, and I could never repay them, like, for all that they've done in my life." But I feel like as we continue to keep growing, it's like we're helping other people because of where we have come from and to. So I feel like I get to do what I'm doing at Vigilant Hope where, really encouraging women in other ways too, because I was encouraged. Had the youth leader that literally took me in, and she was actually there. She went to the hospital with me when I had Asa and my daughter and Paula. And so anyways, I could go on and on. There's just so many.
I love that. I love that. I
Just to
I
name a few.
I if you're willing to go on this dance with me, I would
I will.
love for you to share a little bit about your story with Justin. And the
Yeah.
reason being is because I firmly believe that if we aren't looking and seeing the redemption
Mm.
in God and the replacing and the healing, it's easy to get lost, right? Because the hurt can be so insurmountable. And
Yeah.
Justin is literally like my sister and I talk about like, oh my gosh, the way he looks at her, the way he's just so in love with you. And
Oh,
that was the first time I ever met him. And Katie was like, oh my gosh, the way that he looks at her, it's incredible. Like, I'm just like, it's amazing. So
yeah.
I would love for those listening to get to hear this beautiful redemption of Justin coming into your life and also just the
Yeah.
way he loves. I want to give him some props and some credit.
Definitely. Definitely give him some props. Um, yeah, we met in college. I was a single mom and he pursued me. And I would say that says a lot about him, especially at a Christian college. There was a lot of people that were like not sure what to do with me. And he was like, "Hey, I want to pursue you for marriage." And I was like, "What
Oh, wow. Two
does
moms,
that
two
even mean?"
women and a baby over here in the married dorm. Slow down a minute, please.
Exactly. Calm it down. Calm it down. No, he really did, and he's always kind of, the Lord just gifted him in like, he knows what he wants, and he goes for it, and, the Lord's used that in, mostly good ways in our lives. No one's perfect. And so, yeah, we got married really, quickly because, I already had a child and, he was like, "I want to start a family with you." And, at the time, I don't know, I didn't really know what love was. I was really jaded to it, honestly, just thinking I thought I knew or, I've been hurt and I'm really reserved. I was very, very held everyone like this close, like they didn't get too close. Or if they did, or if they hurt me, like the ghetto girl from Flint coming out, like, Um, anyways,
I love that. Also, I
but
low key
she,
wouldn't mind seeing her sometime. I just want to like
my gosh,
throw
no,
down. I'm
you
like, I
don't.
would,
Oh my god,
I
it's so
literally,
bad.
there's no judgment, but I'd be like, I literally want to see that version of you. I feel like
It's so
you
bad.
can't love someone if you don't love all of them, right? Like even
My
the parts that are
gosh.
like, hey, maybe shouldn't, coulda, woulda. Keep going.
It gets crazy. You know that song, like they where they slash the tires? I don't know. Anyways,
Oh
I
yeah,
literally
the
have,
Carrie Underwood story.
like, so just saying. Um, I did apologize afterwards and pay for her tires because Jesus convicted me.
So
But
you went from two Carrie Underwood songs. The first one was I slug it, like scraped the call, slashed the hole in all four tires, carved my name into the leather seat. And then the other one was Jesus, take the wheel. Literally, you just carried into two of her songs. You were like one and the other.
oh, that's right. That's right. Uh,
Oh,
but
so
anyways,
good.
yeah, so we started, and obviously I kinda held it together. I think from the abuse, I didn't cry much. I didn't really, like I said, I didn't let people in, and, when you're married, it's, almost impossible to not do that, and so we just had a really rough, honestly, like, when you see us now, like, you wouldn't probably, understand, but, like, we had probably a really, really, really difficult, like, 10 years. I mean, we were married for, like, almost 16 years, and, it's been tough. I've grown in healing through a lot of it, but we've really, just done this, and we have grown up together. We've both brought our past into our marriage and, use it as weapons against each other, and that has harmed us both. But I think one of the things that I even said, we go on date nights, once a week, Justin and I. And now one of the things I said, I was like, we're fighters. And we've never stopped fighting, for our marriage and for each other. We want it, both of us. And so I believe that is a huge gift to have a husband who loves the Lord. I can pray for his heart when I'm like, Lord, deal with him.
Yeah, take
And
him.
then
Yep.
And I know that Lord's gonna move because he lives inside of him, and I can trust the Lord with him, and then he does the same to me.
Yeah, yeah.
He always jokes, he's like, "I told you the same thing that your friend told you, and now you see it," It's
Third
like,
party validation, Justin.
yeah,
Whatever.
you planted the seed, someone watered it,
Yeah,
whatever.
done.
So yes, I would say, although yes, on the outside, I think you see us and we love each other very much, and I think we're very affectionate. My kids are like, "Come on, it's gross," But I think it's not void of hardship, which I'm really grateful I get to say that because I don't think you can have a intimate, deep relationship without the struggle and without, working through it. I mean, we're gonna go there, and sometimes it's hard and sometimes we need counseling to help intervene, and so but it's been worth it. And yeah, he is a fighter and he's an amazing man who loves the Lord and yeah, very blessed to have each other for sure.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I think, there's so many things that I love is like you got to, yeah, you just got redemption in what was
Yeah.
stolen from you. And,
Yeah.
obviously you didn't get it right away. Right. But like
Right.
slowly over this time of getting to be loved by a man who loves all of you and just the wholeness that you get to feel, not as a result of him,
Mm.
as a result of God, but with him, right?
Yeah.
And I think
Mm.
that's so special. And I think more people need to hear that
Mm.
there are men like Justin out there because
Mm.
he's broken, right? We all
Mhm.
broken, but
Yeah.
he saw you and he saw your daughter and he was like, it
Mm.
didn't matter. They were one.
Mm.
Like you guys
Mhm.
were a package deal. And it wasn't like, well,
Yeah.
I kind of don't want to. And he is her father. Like he literally
Mhm.
is like that. Just these
Yeah.
are the men that I don't think currently in our world today get enough of the
Mm.
spotlight to be reminded because there's so many hurt women and hurt men out there
Yeah.
that have been
Sure.
hurt by the opposite. And they need to see and hear these amazing testimonies of men that are like,
Mm.
no, there are Justins out there that love
Mhm.
well, that love right, that are broken,
Agree.
but like never at the point of compromising, you know, the two of you and your safety and all the things. And just,
Yeah.
it just, I don't know. We do not highlight them enough. And I think those stories
Mm.
have to be shared more. And so I really wanted
Yeah.
to talk a little bit about him, not because we got to give him the whole show, but
Yeah.
he's so much a part of your story. And he's so
Definitely.
much a part of just walking with you in your brokenness and loving you
Definitely.
despite the fact that you probably had a really hard time loving him in the ways that he wanted to be loved. And
Definitely. Mhm.
all the things that go into trying to heal from abuse.
Yeah.
And he deserved a few minutes. Not to give him a whole
Definitely.
episode. If he wants to be on the show, he's gonna have to come and talk to me because we'll give him
Aw.
a But you talked about hard, and
Yeah.
we talk about choosing your hard. And that is a
Mm.
crossroad moment where all the decisions that you have in front of you are hard, but
Right.
ultimately the one that you choose is going to lead you to the better version of yourself. And that's not to say
Right.
you and I are the kind of people where sometimes we keep coming back to those crossroads multiple times, the same one. Oh,
Right.
was I just here 5 seconds ago?
Yeah.
Yes, you were. So I would love to know, is there a
Yeah.
crossroad moment that comes to mind that
Mm.
you want to share about just choosing your hard?
Yeah. Well, I think obviously well with my daughter that was probably the first one for me. I mean, I was living a life in drinking and drugs underage by the way. And just um doing whatever I wanted to find whatever joy I wanted and that led to destruction for me. And I got pregnant and, in that moment, I had a choice. I think that was, like, so important, like, we all have a choice, and in that moment, I could have continued on that path, very much so. That was wh I had one of the people that I had shared about, she had said to me, she's like, "You can choose, you can live this life or you can keep going. What are you gonna choose?" And so when you said, like, it was literally a choice and I think that in the, like, United States, I will say, um, there's some, like, thing that makes it feel like it's supposed to be easy, and I think that does us a disservice because, there's really no way that I coulda chose that would have been easy, and so it was like, I can either choose this road that I know, it's actually, sad, but at the same time, like I said, I have people who love me and, I think I coulda made it work, probably, maybe, I don't know. But you know what? I'm gonna take this step of faith to do something that feels crazy. It is uncomfortable and it's, foreign to me. It is not normal. It is not like gonna be comfortable at all. And I'm gonna be more consistently in discomfort than I will be in any familiarity at all. And so I literally chose to move away from where I lived because that was I believe that was the best thing for Asa and I. And that is when I met my husband. And so I definitely did not think about that when I was making that choice.
No.
I didn't. I just didn't think I didn't, it was hard for me to even hope, I would even say. I was just in such a hard place of like, it felt like both decisions don't seem great, but well, what else do I have to lose? We're gonna give it a shot.
Yeah.
And so, man, I am like forever grateful for taking that leap of faith. And I think now it's almost like this like high you get. Like I'm always like, let's try the thing that like
Let's do the
we don't
scary
know how
thing.
it's gonna turn
Yeah,
out
yeah. And just
because it
like,
usually is so awesome. So it's not easy at first.
no.
It's really, really, really scary. But you see, like as we keep going, like I don't know, I just, I had friends, where I came from, but I continued to meet like more and more people, and they were also amazing, and they helped me. Had like my pastor when Justin and I got married, like we had this. I literally was standing in line to check in my kids um, I had literally 2, because I have twins. Justin and I got married and had twins. I'll just preface that. I had 2 babies on my arms because I'm like, yes, And then I had Asa walking in front of me, and I'm checking kids into like church service. And this lady behind me, she's so funny, by the way, but my friend Andrea, and she said, "Do you and your husband still love each other?" And she was joking, but I looked at her and like was like, "It's hard." And I don't know, sometimes no,
Yeah.
and then we became such good she's like, "Oh," and she was like, "Well, you need to come over then." And so, like, she didn't know at the time.
Yeah.
She was like, "I was just kidding." Yeah, she's like, "Girls' night." Yeah, she, like, mentored me and had me over and, yeah, again, this is the kind of stuff, it's like I took this leap of faith every time we, like, move. There's these amazing humans that just come in and have loved me so well. I don't know, man. I feel so lucky. And that's the other thing, which I get passionate about, is like not everybody has that. And honestly, it does make me a little sad mad, And so I feel like it's really important to continue to put yourself out there because if you're just alone into yourself, then you can't even have the opportunity to like let somebody come in and be that person. And so I did have to do scary things like go places where people were and get help. Like we literally at the church we went to like I don't even what was it, recovery or something. It's like we're here because we need help. That was scary. Who knew what we were going to get into? But we continued to meet people that just were there to help you and love you. And so I love that about Vigilant Hope. It's like when people show up, you will be loved, you'll be encouraged, you'll get food, your needs met. And what's so beautiful is we have so many regulars at Vigilant Hope. That sometimes I'm like, who's running the show here?
Yeah, for real.
But they know that. They know that they're gonna get loved and they're gonna, be encouraged by Kyle or Sam or, somebody there. And it's incredibly powerful. So I would say I think it's available to everyone, but it does take risk. It does take that step of faith to be vulnerable, to be open, and it's a little scary.
Yeah. And I mean, just like, gosh, like, I mean, you know, both decisions are hard, like you said. Like that's what I want to stand
Yeah,
on. I remind people like they're both hard.
yeah,
You could have continued to go down the path and
yeah,
not break any generational curses
right.
and, continue down what was already done before you.
Mhm,
But because of the twinkles and the
mm,
sprinkles of people that have just enough to make you go,
mhm,
right? We're not talking about like
yeah,
full cascades, but your
mm,
stepdad and people that were like, well, this orange isn't actually orange, it's green,
yeah,
or just
yeah,
enough for you to hold on
mhm,
to a mustard seed size of
mhm,
whatever. It wasn't hope, right? But
yeah,
it was just
yeah.
like, well, this ain't it?
Yeah, it
And
was other people's hope, I think.
Good.
That's, like, one of the things Justin said. He said to me when we were pretty early on in our marriage, like, he's like, "I could see the healed, better version of us." And that I couldn't see. I couldn't see that. And I would say that's probably why he continued, like, to keep going because he had hope, and so his hope carried our marriage. Like, well, obviously the Lord, but
Gosh, like
I
even just the words vigilant hope
mhm.
together
Yeah.
are such a testimony of your story
Yeah.
of like, and again, then you
Mhm.
get to a place where you're doing it for him, right? Like it is both ways, right? But
Yeah.
I, yeah, and I say this a lot, like borrowing people's belief, right? Like,
Mhm.
if you can't see it, surround yourself with
Yeah.
people that can until you can
Yeah.
see it for yourself. And sometimes that's your own
Mhm.
image, right? Like
Yeah.
Lauren, you grew up being objectified in all of these things. You were not going to
Yeah.
be able to believe that you could be loved or that you actually were beautiful
Definitely.
because you didn't know really what that was. And so
Yeah.
you had to
Yeah.
borrow other people and kind of fake it until you
Mhm.
make it, until all of a sudden the
Yeah.
Lord did the work that needed to happen and you stepped
Yeah.
into faith and you were like, "Oh, I am these things. I am loved. I am
Mhm.
beautiful. I'm smart, but not for the ways that I had learned that I was or that I wasn't.
Right.
For the
Mhm.
truest, most beautiful ways that were right."
Yeah.
And I think that's relatable to anybody listening.
Mhm.
I think there's so many people that
Yeah.
have a shade of your story
Mhm.
and that have become identified by that story and not
Mhm.
by the truth of who God
Yeah.
says they are and the light and the
Mhm.
love that are within them. Regardless
Mhm.
if someone believes in God, there are other people that are showing you light, love, and kindness. And it doesn't even have to have the label. I mean, we know that it
Yeah.
is, right? But like, if
Mhm.
you can't get yourself to that place for whatever reason,
Yeah.
like light, love, goodness, and kindness can stand on its own without
Mhm.
having to be like, oh, it's God. And then,
Mhm.
and I know that, and you know that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And just even when you were talking about choosing your heart, I think
Yeah.
like just seeing Asa being the miracle that you
Yeah.
needed to make that decision because
Yeah.
you may
Totally.
not be here.
No, definitely. And at the time, it felt like a burden or like the problem almost. And I would say society totally told me that and people I loved. And it was like, no, I'm gonna go against the grain here and say, I'm just gonna try this. Like I'm gonna keep,
Yeah.
practice what I preach. I actually did I had to do debate in high school and I actually had a debate like we did like abortion and that and it's hard, and I think there's stories for everyone, and they're like, you're never gonna be judged by me. I mean, not at all. Everyone has a different story, and so that's to me, I'm like, who are you? Like, I want to know who you are.
Yeah.
But that was just something that I felt really passionate about. Like, okay, there were people that were available that I could have been like, yes, you can take care of my child, and she probably would have whatever had money but like I get to take care of my child now and man I get to see and she has like grown me because we're all so uniquely different. I even have twins and they're so different and each one of them has grown me to we're not all the same and we need each other, so man I'm so blessed to have her that I had the option to have her in my life and I am a better person and literally here because of it. Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
yeah. And we even joked too
Yeah.
early on. We talked about like you didn't realize the time. I think the show was
Yeah.
on, but you were like, "Oh yeah," like we joked about the Lorelai Gilmore, Rory Gilmore
Oh
like
yeah.
kind of concept, and it was so.
Totally.
And you were like, "I had no idea it was actually a thing," and now you watch it, and you're like,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah, that was me."
I love that show. I've seen it like every episode like at least 4 times. I don't know.
It's such a good, it's a timeless classic, and it just seems to
It
age
is.
well, right? Like the
Yeah.
story is so relatable
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
just beautiful and funny and all the things.
Yeah.
You you did speak earlier, just like that hope and not and really having to bother
Yeah.
other people. And I can imagine
Mhm.
that dreaming is
Mhm.
also in that boat. That like
Mhm.
what is what is dreaming? You know, like
Yeah,
what like
definitely.
I guess two parts to my question would be when did you actually allow yourself to dream? And how have your girls helped you to do that in this season in particular?
Wow. Well, when you said, like, about me and one of them was dreamer, I'm like, "Well, that's only Jesus," because I could have never imagined being a dreamer. I think, when you are suppressed, whether it's within your environment or by other people, um, it is hard to see past that because it's almost like there's a wall in front of you, and that's how I was raised. So dreaming almost was like weak, like, like you cannot dream because it's likely not gonna happen, so you're hoping in something that could hurt you, and it's just like it's pretty messed up, I know, but this is our I thought and lived, and my husband, the Lord has gifted him. Like he is like when you talk like personality wise, like the way like he dreams is like I think he did some testing. It was like Steve Jobs or something. Like he's like one of the very few that thinks the way he thinks. And man, has it blessed me. But he is a dreamer. And I used to be like, what? It was
Who is
like,
this man? Who is like he's got time? We've got 3 kids.
yeah,
Like, what are you doing? Like, get it
exactly.
together.
It was so hard for me. I was like, I don't understand what you're saying.
I
Like,
don't
cannot
understand.
compute.
No.
I'll live here in the present and you dream more ahead, you know. But we really did complement each other very well in that because I think we did bring each other both down to a healthy place because you think you can go to two extremes. And I think we both were.
Yeah.
No, I'd say he probably was the one that helped me to dream, I think. And he was a safe person that continued to stay even when I I tried to push away. Like I tried to be like, no, I can't do that or I'm not gonna or whatever. And so yeah, I think I needed someone to hold my hand in experiencing what it looked like to dream. And you know, it's not perfect, but I think what's exciting now in my life is that I have been set free from that. I would say it does feel like a stint or like something that was over me and it has been released and I have a lot of dreams now. And yet I still live here like in the present. And it is like I love date nights every weekend. I love dinner at the table with my family. And yes, both of those include food, which I love. So anyway, but you know, I do. We have so many hopes and dreams, and my a particular ace says she is a dreamer, and she's like, I want to live overseas, and I want to do this, and I want to, and I think there's a part of me that wants to bring her to reality, and the other part of me is like, wow, like look at her be a kid,
Yeah.
like look at her be her age and dream, and you know what's really cool is she probably could do those things. Like I really believe she could do those things. And so it's like, okay, maybe it wouldn't have been my first choice, or
Yeah.
maybe it wouldn't have been something that like I would have chosen, but like, wow, to like watch her do things like she plays guitar and she writes music and she does things that like I guess in my mind I was like, well, you can't make money doing those things, so like maybe don't do that. But she is so passionate about it, and I'm like, you know what? I don't know what God's going to do in your life, but you know what? Do it. Like just go for it. And she's really gifted in it and she's learning and she's growing and she's a kid. You know, but I think I'm learning that when we don't have dreams, sometimes it's easy to control. So like I think I lived there. To try to control my circumstances feels a little more comfortable than to like hope in something that might not happen. And so it's scary to hope and dream because you are letting go of control, you know? And I that's not something I wanted to do. But gosh, it's really freeing. And so yeah, I think my kids consistently just being able to say, okay, they are different than me and I'm just gonna let them do their passions. We got one that, you know, sings and plays music and loves to work out like Chipotle. I mean, literally. And then we have one that loves acting like it is like the way she breathes. And then we have one that likes that too, but she also plays basketball and she's like she is, you know, didn't start off great, but she practices every single day for hours on end. And it's like you just see each one of them so uniquely different. And it's like, wow, like getting to watch them succeed, watching them thrive, and just letting them hope and dream, you know? It's really I feel so lucky I get to watch it, you know, and see it and be a part. Yeah, I would say that.
I just love that Asa and the girls like they dream like their daddy, you know?
Yeah.
Like you can absolutely be like, that's not me. You're like, they don't get it from me like that at all. They get it from
Yes.
him.
Yeah, totally.
And for you too, I think it's so profound. I think there are a lot of men and women who are parents who are in the same space that
Mhm.
you are, but
Yeah.
they did not experience the challenges that you faced. And so
Mm.
for you, questioning dreams and questioning their route is not because you don't believe in them.
Mm.
It's because you didn't know any different yourself. And so in this process,
Yeah.
you're dying to yourself in the sense of like,
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
can't walk forward with the same mindset that I grew up in at their age,
Yeah.
because it's not the same. And I would harm them so
Yeah.
much by trying to project that, right?
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of people who, in their own way, experience that from their parents and have to come to that moment of like, okay, am I going to repeat history, or am I gonna just be uncomfortable and say, I can't see it, but I'm gonna encourage and love you and be there for you and guide you? And that's powerful, right? Because they're gonna figure it out regardless.
Yeah.
But it's the seeds of doubt that get planted that not everybody can overcome.
Yeah.
And I will tell you that, like, my story is not that story, and, like, praise God for the fact that my complex is like, "Oh, you don't think I can? Okay, well, just take a front row seat, VIP, and watch me as I do it in front of you."
Yeah.
It's my favorite
Totally.
complex.
Yeah.
But not everybody's like that, right? Not everybody
Yeah.
has that internal motivation, and in fact, it's the doubt and the weariness that creates fear, and the fear keeps them from doing those things. And so
Yeah.
I think it's so special to not only hear that you have stepped into dreaming yourself and your own healing, but now you're going through another layer of that, of like, okay, how can I dream with them
Yeah.
and not discourage or instill doubt, you know? And obviously go to those moments privately with Justin being like,
Yes.
I don't know. But then but then talking with them, you're like, okay, well, what are your thoughts? Like, how do we get this done? What are you thinking? You know? And
Yeah.
I mean, they're gonna learn it, they're gonna learn. And so a lot of the times when, I think about dreaming for myself and thinking about, just even what I originally thought or had the ideas for, like I was actually shaped by the no, shaped by the rejection to get to the right place. We don't need our parents to do that for us, right? Like the natural rejection of pursuing your dreams is enough. We don't, in general,
So true.
you don't need the people that you love the most. And I say this, I think I've told you this before, but I say this all the time on the podcast. And this is literally perfect for you. Is our families and the people that love us, their advice is filled with love and coated with fear. That's it. That's it, right? It is not they're saying these things because they don't want you to be well or to succeed or to, it's just there's fear. They don't want you to go through the same things they went through or whatever that is.
Right.
And I think there's such a call to action in what you're doing is like, okay, I could project. Or guess what? They're going to figure it out anyways. And life is already hard and life is going to hurt them. So I can be this mama that's proud to say, I stand by you. I encourage you. And like, I'll be here regardless because they're going to come to you because something didn't work out. Now, it doesn't mean it's not all of those things that they're doing. It does not mean that that's not going to happen. It just may not happen in the way that they thought. Right. But it's going to be better and more beautiful because we know that we have a God that is like so much bigger than us. But I feel like that's, in my opinion, as someone who is a dreamer, who's someone who I have, had people that love me and believe in me. And, my mom loves me and believes me. She doesn't quite get me sometimes. And that's okay. That's parents. But, for someone that has fought against the fear of the people that love me the most for so long, I just want that for more people. I want people and parents right now to just love your kids and let them go. If they're not hurting themselves or hurting just be there because life is already hard, and to feel like they don't have a safe place to come back to when they got rejected from the job of their dreams or when they were told that they're not good enough, they don't need you to encourage that, So that's just me pleading to parents listening, like just put your shit aside and love your kids because the world sucks and they're already hurting and they need mamas and daddies and aunts and uncles and cousins that are going to say, we're here, go back out,
Yeah. Yeah. And then we'll form a support group where we are together in saying, please pray for my kids.
Yes, there's going to be a dream support group where we encourage each other.
That's where we talk about our fears.
Yes.
And we do this.
Yes, we get jackets. There'll be food. Everyone can bring a new dish. You wear your at-home sweatpants so you can eat as much as you want. It's no big deal.
Please Pray over my children. Yes, exactly. No, I mean, I pray more now that my kids are older and they're not even out of the house yet.
Yeah.
But it is, out of our control. It actually always was. I don't know, when they're younger, it feels like we have more control, because we have to do so much.
Yeah.
But when they get older, we really do have to we get to see that our dependence,
Yeah.
where it actually lies.
Yeah.
So,
And getting to
anyway.
see the work you get done, I think it's so easy too. And again, I
Mm.
also want to say I'm not a parent. So like this advice that I say is just because I have years of
Mhm.
experience with parents and
Right.
moms and like
Yeah,
so
exactly.
many
No, it's so
people
good.
so many
Yes.
people call on me and invite me into these conversations.
Mhm.
So it's not like,
Right.
I'm just a subject
No, but it
matter.
matters.
Yeah.
No, it matters. I think I had a hard time, like, my kids would say things like, "Oh, this is hard, this is bad," and you know how I grew up, and I'm like, girlfriend, like, you think this is hard." But, like, I learned from amazing women, that were like, "No, it matters what they think too."
Yeah.
Just because they didn't grow up in the hood doesn't mean that what they're feeling doesn't matter too. And so I think it really does. What you're saying, it does matter both sides. Seeing the kid's perspective, seeing the parent's perspective. And in it, we might not see the exact thing, but it is really beautiful to be able to say, okay, what you think, what you're going through matters. And I don't need to compare my trauma with theirs because
Mhm.
obviously, like, I'd win, but like,
Right. Right.
but like that's not fair because then I'm diminishing how they feel and their emotions,
Right.
and so, anyways, I'm learning them. I'm
Yeah.
learning that,
And you
but
made the choices that you made
yeah,
so that they wouldn't have the traumas you had, right?
yeah,
And so
right,
it's just that reminder too of like, okay, I took those
mm,
steps and then with
yeah,
Justin we took more steps so that our
mm,
girls wouldn't have the same experiences
mm,
we had. And so
right,
again, there needs to be a support group for,
yeah.
past traumas of
I will
parents.
be there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
parents past traumas, PPT, right?
yeah. I feel like everybody will be there.
I know everybody, right? And just
Yeah.
sharing and again, it's just
Yeah.
yeah, and I think that's such an important call to action is being in community. And you said something earlier that really hit me. I didn't bring up, but I'll bring it up because it's coming back up. It's like it is just important for people that are hurting to go out and seek help as it is for people that are meant to help the hurting.
Yeah.
And I think it's really easy when we're like having a tough day where maybe we're not struggling with the same decisions that you struggled with
Mhm,
or loss or death or abuse, but we're just having a tough day. And it's
mhm,
us going out, maybe going to the grocery store, going and reading a book in a public space, that there is someone we're going to meet that we
mhm,
get to help. And I just had this conversation with my sister the other day. Like it is a constant work for me. And I am
mhm,
so aware of, okay, do I not want to do this thing because I'm sick or because I
mm,
need rest? Or is it because I'm being kept from doing this thing by potentially like doubt and fear and things that are not true, right?
yeah,
And so it's like it's recognizing where are those feelings coming from and
mm,
acting despite them, right?
yeah,
Because I
mhm,
don't want anybody ever to belittle a hard day or an
yeah,
emotionally taxing time. It's really hard.
mhm,
But
mhm,
I get so giddy to think about if I can get out of my own way for 30
yeah,
minutes and as a result of that, I can change a life.
mm,
Ooh, buddy. And I'm not talking
mhm,
about $1 million. I'm talking about
yeah,
can one sentence keep someone from committing suicide? Can that
mhm,
friendly smile perk someone up to
mhm,
where they were about to, go and say some mean things?
mm,
That kind
mhm,
conversation at the checkout lets them have hope that they can come back to their job. Like
yeah,
I am not talking about hard things to do
mhm,
for somebody else. And so
yeah,
I think to your point, it's when you are hurting and you need
mm,
help, there is help. You need to go seek it.
yeah,
But when you're
mm,
not hurting and you maybe are having some weird mix of emotions, think about the person that's hurting on the other side who
mhm,
needs you to get out of your own way to go and help
yeah,
them. Because
yeah,
your story, Lauren, is there are many men and women that
mhm.
could have stayed in their own way.
Definitely. Yeah, yeah. And I will just say there no one's perfect. And I think sometimes like if some one thing I don't want people to think when they hear my story is like, gosh, she has all these amazing people in their life and I don't. Like, I don't want anyone to think that because we all fall short, and there have been like we hurt each other almost, but there's so much grace and vulnerability within like community. I just finished reading Acts and it was talking about consistently like they gathered together, they encouraged one another, which is what you do all the time, Brittany. Like, and that's what you're talking about, like smiling or saying things to people. And they praise the Lord together. And so I think, we can make it that simple. Like you are, like you said, getting out and gathering together, and we are encouraging, building each other up, and we are giving God the praise and honor for it. And I think in that, we can have community that is powerful and beautiful and all these sinners saved by grace, So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I think again, like, to add a little bit onto what you're saying about like, oh, she's got perfect friends. It's like there are still people that didn't do right by you. It's just you chose to continue to find people that would. That's
good.
it.
That's good.
Preach. Like it's not that people haven't hurt you, continue to hurt you, will continue to hurt you. It's that you choose to look and love well, give grace, and go out and actually find the people despite those that are not meant for you. And
right.
that's the reason why it looks so lush and colorful is because you kept going and you didn't stop. And I believe the only way to fail is to give up in anything. And you haven't given up. And so it doesn't matter your setbacks, it matters your comebacks.
Okay. There you go. I love it.
So cool. Okay, last question, and then we'll get into lifestyle questions.
Okay.
But I mean, there's so much wisdom I think you've already shared, but I think to just really hone in on the group, of young mothers, young single mothers, or young mothers in general, maybe those that have come from abuse or not, you can decide. But like, if you could share advice or wisdom for them that really is just speaking to them, what would you share that hopefully can comfort and give them the courage to take the steps that they need to take?
Yeah. Wow. That's so good. I would say, well done, first of all. Good job. And it's hard. And to have so much grace for yourself. I think I dismissed that early on, and I needed that grace. And I think my kids needed that grace for me too. They can feel that, So, and I would say on top of that, it matters to take care of yourself. It's hard as a single mom. It's hard as a parent because there's so much to do. But it does teach your children to take care of themselves when you take care of yourselves, whether that's through counseling or I just took like a Saturday morning for a couple hours and read the word like for years. And I would say I've benefited from that small short time, weekly consistency that I went before the Lord. A lot of times it was hard and I cried and I grew and I learned and it's not always perfect, but I just never give up on. Yeah, well, you're doing a great job, but we can always be learning and growing. So,
thank you for that. That's very sweet, and I know that will be heard by many. And yeah, thank you for that. Very sweet.
Awesome. Yeah.
Okay.
And I want to give them a hug.
I know. You're getting a warm hug. And they're great. I've had them in person. And so I do know that they're fantastic. Just so y'all are aware. And I just hope that today's conversation, for those that are listening, it doesn't matter what your walk looks like. This is why I do what I do. I interview ordinary people living extraordinary lives. Men and women that are just choosing hard things, being kind, dreaming big, and if they believe in God, loving God, and like it's simple, but it's not easy, right? It's simple, but it's not easy. And so I just know that your story is going to inspire a crap ton of people because of your willingness to share the hard things and to be vulnerable and to welcome people into your pain and your purpose all at the same time. And that I feel that you are going to do remarkable things, and we need to share stages together and just to continue to bring light and love to people that need it. And so I know that many people will be blessed by this episode. 1000%.
Wow. And by you're such an encourager. I'm really grateful for the opportunity to be here. You're always we're encouraging each other when we're at work,
It's true.
praying for each other.
We
And
do. And that's what you
we
need.
need it, girl.
We do need
Yeah,
it.
we do.
We do need it. Okay, so
Love it.
lifestyle questions and with something a little fun. What is your favorite coffee shop? You don't have to say Visual Hope Roasting. There's no pressure. What's your favorite coffee shop or drink spot, and what's your go-to order?
Well, I have to say Vigilant Hope.
Okay.
Not because of anything. I don't really go to coffee shops.
Right.
I drink black coffee at home every day. So I'm really boring in the coffee department. But when I go into Vigilant Hope, the baristas are so kind. They are so sweet. And I literally say to them, like, what do you think I should have?
I
Or
love
like,
it.
make me anything.
It's
And
my
they
favorite thing
always
to
make me
watch.
amazing things.
I love it.
It is.
It's
It
like
makes me
always
so
fun to be like Lauren comes in and they're like, what do you want today? Okay, what are you feeling? I don't know. What are you feeling? Well, it's just like this whole cute little exchange. And Lauren is like, she makes you feel like that coffee was made literally like with gold flakes sprinkled on it. And like,
Yes, it's so
like
beautiful.
Bunny
The
from Adam
art
Sandler.
and yes.
Yeah.
I love it. So yeah, if you don't know what you want, go to Vigilant Hope and they will get you I've never had anything I didn't like. But I definitely get some like, fancy drinks. I think right now one I really like is it La Vanilla Latte? Is that the
Yeah.
I always try their seasonal stuff. It's always good. But that one I've gotten a couple times.
Yeah.
So that
I
means
will
it's a keeper.
say, I think the reason why and there are some incredible coffee shops. There's
Of
so
course.
many in our town, and there are some
Yeah.
incredible baristas. Luna Cafe is one of my favorites. They do such a great job of
Oh,
they're like mixologists for coffee flavors. I love it.
wow.
I think the one thing I love about our product is that we make our syrups from scratch. So
Mhm.
I just feel like one of the things that
Yeah, I could drink that stuff.
yeah, literally you have it in
So
your
good.
house,
Yeah,
right? Like it's not
seriously.
processed, it's not
Yeah.
and I think it really does like I don't put anything in my coffee anymore. I've had such a coffee journey where I was like lots
Yeah.
of things and now I'm like, "Oh, can I do an iced oat milk latte?" Like I don't need anything
Ooh.
because
Mhm.
and that should be the way it is, honestly. If the
Yeah.
espresso is good, you really shouldn't need anything in it, right?
You
Like
need anything else?
you don't need it. Just
So
need the
French.
espresso. So French, yes, please. Can I have a milkshake, please? But
I love it.
it's because the syrups are homemade. So when you do have
Yeah.
them, they're literally made on a hot plate, melting
Mhm.
sugars and simple syrups and
Mhm.
steeping stuff and so
Yeah.
I do think that makes a difference. And I know there's a lot of coffee
Mhm.
shops in our town that are like that do the little extra
Mhm.
because it
Mhm.
doesn't take away from the coffee, right? It
Yeah.
just
Mhm.
exemplifies it. And so you
Yeah,
have this
definitely.
euphoric experience of delicious coffee, great
Yeah.
community, and flavor all at the same time.
Yeah.
I need
So
to start
good.
doing advertising for the coffee shop.
Definitely.
Oh my gosh. Can you
Definitely.
imagine you and I doing like an ad for the roastery? That would be
Yes.
best. Like the two of us sitting and just talking about the flavors and
Yes.
that's the ad.
Exactly. Totally.
Yeah, I need to
Oh, it would be a little extreme. We'd be like, "Oh my gosh, it's amazing." People would be like, "Are they for real?"
and we'd be like, yes. Or I can imagine the scene being like, we're just sitting in like a cool little setting, just having a casual conversation and it like elevates. It's like, ooh, what is that? I don't know.
What is
Oh, do you know they make their flavors from scratch? Oh, I didn't know. Oh gosh, wow. Like just like we're just like and we're like, this is amazing. Yeah. And that's where we end. Like
Exactly.
so good.
Definitely.
So good.
Oh.
Okay, what is a book that you've read multiple times that you think someone here
Mhm.
should read as well?
Okay. I have to go there. I had a dear friend, Dontoya gave me this book to borrow, actually. I just borrowed it from her and I couldn't, it's like this big, which I had like at the time never read a book that big in my life, like
Still doing hard
ever.
things.
And yeah, that's right. And she's like, I feel like you'd like this. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna read it. And it was Redeeming Love. Have you read that book by Francis something? I can't think of her name.
How
I mean, is it my story? I don't know. A little
I'm
bit.
so glad you said that because okay, wait. Because here's the thing. There is a movie also. So now that you've done your
Is there? Ooh, I don't know what the movie's like.
So the movie I think is probably, well, I think the movie's great, but like, and I haven't
Okay, good.
fully read the
Okay.
story. I do have Redeeming Love.
Okay.
However, when we were talking and I just was in this conversation,
Did you
literally
think of it?
Redeeming Love came out and I was like,
It's true. Yeah, so obviously that's probably why I think it's the best. But it is, risque and hard and sad and the most beautiful, and I'm like, "That's me."
yeah, yeah. And like literally when I was thinking about Justin, I was talking about him, I was thinking about, obviously it's based on the scripture Hosea, but like I was thinking about the man in that. I was like, oh my gosh, she just loved her and kept loving her and kept like, it's so
Yeah,
amazing.
definitely. Uh-huh, exactly. So I think from my story for sure.
Will you come back again?
Aw!
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Because I feel like the next time you come on, there's going to be things that you need to share that are not only going to be growth things, but also like,
Ooh,
I think God's going to
what's
have
to
you in a
come?
different place, right? That you are going to be able to share totally different things. And
I'm
I,
here for it.
I'm
We're
here.
dreaming now.
We're dreaming. Hashtag dreamer.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. I love that so much. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. You guys share this episode with everybody on the
Aw.
planet, honestly, because we are a global podcast. So just share, share, share. Follow us on Instagram, subscribe, ring the bell, or whatever it
Mm,
is on YouTube. Follow our podcast so you can continue to hear stories
mm,
like Lauren and other men and
mm.
women that are just living ordinary lives, doing extraordinary things. And they just
Love
like,
it.
it just gets me so giddy. And this is such just a powerful place to be where I
Yeah.
get to steward it. That's all I'm doing. It's your
Yeah,
story.
thank you. Yeah,
You're welcome. I just get to give you a
yeah,
place to continue to uplift and encourage in what you're already doing.
yeah.
And I know that this podcast is changing lives. There's feedback
Mm,
already. There's constant
mhm.
conversation. And I just love to see what God is doing. And it all just gets me so giddy. I'm just like, it's such a small, like these are your neighbors, right?
Yeah,
These are your local
totally.
firemen and your local teachers and your local
Yeah.
nonprofit, staff members. Like it's
Yeah.
not people that are out of reach. And I think
Mhm.
there's something so beautiful about that. So
I love that. Thanks for enhancing that in people's lives too. It encourages them too. So I love it. Thanks, friend.
I'm so grateful for you. You guys follow us in all the places. Share this episode. As always, do good things. Make me proud. And we'll
Yeah.
see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.